got something going on with one of the budgies. This is Gertie's is biting me, but I've been examining him. He's got his right foot, look at how it can grip and move, but his left foot almost looks paralyzed. He can move the toes, but he can't, he drags it a bit. It's not working right. And the wing on that side also is sagging a little bit. Now I'm going to clean his vent because he's unsteady and he can't clean his vent area. So let me clean him up a little bit. Now I'll go through the things that it's not. It's not any poisoning because the room here doesn't have anything they can ingest that's poisonous. There's no poisonous plants. There's no zinc coatings on anything. Their cage has all stainless steel hardware on the perches because I made them myself. He's an older bird. He's at least 6. He could be as much as 8 or 9. It's okay, Gertie. Now these birds are used to being handled. But I'm going to get him into the vet tomorrow, but I have a feeling it's not an injury. It started out with this tiny, tiny limp, barely noticeable, but when he'd walk, I'd see it was a little limp, and I thought, oh, he caught his foot. You know, sometimes birds land funny on a perch, or they catch their foot, twist their foot a little. So I give him a little meloxicam, budgie dose, twice a day, thinking that would take down any inflammation and pain, and then he would recover. But it just keeps getting worse. If you think this doesn't hurt, him biting you like that, if you have budgies, be prepared. They can really bite hard. Gertie, stop biting my finger. Ow. Stop that. I know you don't like being held, but I have to look at you. Now, I believe Gertie's a boy. It's hard to tell with these yellow birds. But I felt around down here for egg binding. If there was an egg in there, and Gertie, of course, has never laid an egg because he's a boy, I believe. But if you gently feel, very gently, you might be able to feel a rounded egg. That would be an egg-bound parakeet that can cause this, looks like partial paralysis of the leg, but it's really not paralysis. It's where the, ouch, ow, Jesus. You bite hard. I'm going to put him back and show you his hospital cage before he draws blood here. So the first thing you want to do is separate your bird from the other birds. Now you'll see him gripping. He can grip with his toes. But that one foot and the wing is not right. Get a better look at it. I just want to show you because if somebody has this, see he's got no balance. The one wing is not, and it's hard to see it from this angle, but the one wing is sagging a little bit away from his body. Okay, I put food at the bottom there. He gets plenty of good nutrition. They get the pellets. They get cooked grains with extra vitamins sprinkled on them. I put a water dish down there. And I lowered these guys down on chairs here. Yeah. If you have multiple birds, you want to keep them near each other. So he's over there, and they're over here. And they can see each other. He's at their level. Otherwise, he's going to try to climb up higher because their cage was up higher than that. Okay, here he's going up now. Now you can maybe see the wing. You see the one wing is not like the other wing. Come on. Come on down here. Don't be climbing up. Here, get back on the perch. Okay, so his leg is able to grip, but this leg is splayed out. It's splayed out away from his body. The feet should be right underneath their body. And this one right here is off to the side. Come on back down. I don't want to get him too upset. Okay, so that one leg is splayed out to the side and he has trouble using it. And the wing is also not in the right position. Now I'm giving him meloxicam, but I get the feeling that it's probably going to be a tumor that's pressing on a nerve. But I think it's more because it's on one side. There's something in there that's growing big enough that's causing the wing and the leg to not work right. Budgie strokes. Birds can have a stroke too. But in that case, they'll have a complete seizure mostly. And fall down and, you know, have a seizure. As far as I know, he had no seizure. It started slowly. And it's progressing and getting worse. You can see he's unsteady there on the perch as well. But now he's at the level of these guys, so he's not lonely. You want to keep your bird near the other birds. I mean, unless they have some respiratory problem going on, then you want to separate them in another room. But if it's something that's not catching, keep them near the other birds. I could keep him in that cage, but I want to see if he's eating or pooping, so I want to keep him in here. Now he's an older bird, and I don't know. I've had him for over 4 years. He was an adopted bird. He came with Lola. Lola's that yellow one there. She's a girl. Yep, that wing is not right either. And the pumping of the tail, I think he's pumping it because I was holding him and he was exerting himself trying to get away. I haven't noticed that. But if you see your budgie pumping its tail up and down, that's a sign that they're trying to get air and oxygen into their air sacs. That means there's something wrong with their breathing. So if you see that, get them to a vet because it could be something cured with antibiotics. It could also mean that there's something like a tumor inside again. So that little bit, I mean, there's a tiny bit of pumping on the tail. That's normal because they're breathing. You know, it's like your chest going in and out slightly. But if you see, compare the pumping of the tail, get used to looking at your parakeet, your budgie, and look at the healthy budgie, and then you'll know if their tail pumping is abnormal. Okay, you gotta observe your pets so you know what's normal. Take a good close look at your pets each day. So I can't get him in today. Oh, there he is. See, he's very I'm sorry, Gertie. I can get you in tomorrow morning to the vet. He doesn't seem to be in pain. I saw him eating before. And the meloxicam, of course, is keeping him from having pain, and it's also an anti-inflammatory. But since this kept coming on, we'll see. We'll see what the vet says. I'm going to an avian vet, which is far away. That's one problem with having birds. And most vets don't know about birds, and you might have to drive for quite a distance to get to an avian vet. Okay, we'll see what happens after the vet. I get the feeling, though, it's going to be something that's not curable. So I'm prepared for that. Okay, there he's sitting there. I just got through cleaning these guys out now, so they're all clean. Now, these birds get out every second day. And I'm going to point out something else in their cage, though. They get out and fly around every second day. But I do have things they can chew on. There's a cuttle bone for calcium, and these are like coconut discs that they can chew on. That's good to keep their beaks worn down. And they can also chew on the grapevine. This actually had kind of a bark on it at one time that they've chewed off, but it's not toxic, so it doesn't matter. Check back about Gertie here. And Gertie's chirping and was preening himself. I'm sorry, I'm upsetting you. Here he goes up again. You noticed how I was holding him and he was biting me? Here's another thing, let me tell you. You want to hold your budgie, you want to grab him once in a while and just hold him gently. Just hold him gently in your hand. Now, if you don't want him drawing blood, maybe you want to put on some kind of small winter glove or something, a knitted glove, but get your budgie used to being held in your hand, and you don't have to do it a lot. These guys get handled a lot because sometimes they won't go in their cage. Once in a while, one of them won't, and I got to go and put out the lights and grab them. But I do handle these guys. Come here. Now, what's the reason for this? You say, oh, you're stressing out your bird. Well, if they get handled a little bit, and I'm talking about like once a week, gently grab your bird, hold them real gently, or maybe you can do 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Be ready that he'll bite because they bite hard. And then put them back down. Now why? There we go. I'm sorry, Gertie. I know you're not doing well. Why do you do that? Well, because you take your parakeet, your budgie, to the vet. They're going to have to hold them to examine them. And actually at our vet, which is an avian vet, they make you sign a paper saying that the bird can die while they're examining him. Because if the bird is not used to being held in someone's hand when the vet's examining him, they can have a heart attack and die. So they make you actually sign a paper. So you want to have a bird that can be examined by a vet without dying. So if they get used to you holding them, like I say, once in a while, just for a short time, in your hand, put them back in on the perch, they're going to realize, you know, they get held in their hand and they're okay and they're not going to be all scared to death. And it's hard making these videos when the animals are sick, but I'm hoping it'll help someone else out who's having the same problem and they look up, you know, bird leg partial paralysis. But the important thing is get them to the vet. They're just going to suffer if you let them sit. And see, now you can see the wing. Now you can see how that wing is hanging on this side too. And he just pooped. He looks like he pooped out a normal poop. So he is eating. I know I saw him eating, but if it is a tumor, it's just going to keep growing and getting worse and worse until he can't even walk at all. And I don't know how much pain he's in. Birds hide their pain. Any prey animals, any animals that are eaten by other animals, hide their pain really well. They don't want it. They don't want a predator to pick them out as one that's easy, you know, to catch. So they hide their pain, and you really have to be observant with guinea pigs, rabbits, birds. All of those are prey animals. Yeah, Gertie's sick. Something's wrong with Gertie. Something's wrong with Gertie, guys. What do you think, huh? You're wondering why they don't get out, but I'm not going to let them out today because it'll just get Gertie upset if he sees them flying around, and he can't land and without probably falling to the floor. So I'm not even going to. Up until yesterday, or up until 2 days ago, he could fly and land on perches. But now it's getting, in the last couple days, it's been getting worse.